Welcome to SOS Media, your number one source of the latest news, opinions, and in-depth investigations that dig deeper into today's developing stories around the globe. One of the most significant terms of the past decade in hip-hop and R&B music genres has been culture vulture. This is a phrase used to describe people who profit off hip-hop, or black culture, but have little to no investment in the well-being of the people who create it. If there is someone who has made this term more universal, then it is Damon Dash, who founded the hip-hop music industry powerhouse Rockefeller Records with friends Jay-Z and Damon Biggs Burke. Dash had a run of interviews in the late 2010s where he used the term to accuse record executives like Leor Cohen and Steve Stout of exploiting black creators. There's a long and disreputable history of record labels manipulating, mismanaging and flat-out mistreating black musicians, and it goes back further than the birth of hip-hop. As early as the 1950s, labels were paying white musicians to perform and record songs that were created by black artists, stripping the originators of all credit and ownership. Artists these days have upper standards, especially when it's more feasible than ever to commandeer your own ship on your own terms. They've listened to their elders' advice to retain ownership of their master recordings, demand creative control, and publicly rebuke the dreaded 360 deals that give labels a share of all their income. What about accountability beyond the pocketbooks? Should labels be held accountable if their artists commit real-life transgressions outside of music, such as domestic issues? Or to provide legal support if they're charged with crimes? Do they need to provide health services for their artists? Better yet, should content itself be a factor in what labels are held accountable for? If they never promote positive artistry, does that deserve criticism? Plenty of employers provide benefits packages that include health insurance, life insurance, retirement benefits, and more. Why not record labels? Top Dog Entertainment CEO Anthony Tiffith expressed this concern in 2018, when Spotify announced a hate content and hateful conduct policy, which planned to remove music by R. Kelly even before he was convicted in trafficking in Tennessee, who battled domestic violence charges before he was murdered later that year, from Spotify's programmed playlists. But it seems to me that they're constantly picking on hip-hop culture. However, Spotify later retracted the policy. But as pressure mounted from the docuseries Surviving R. Kelly, Sony's RCA Records did hurriedly end up dropping R. Kelly from its roster. And last recently, when formerly Kanye West spewed a string of anti-Semitic comments, the New York Times reported that Def Jam was no longer affiliated with his label GOOD Music. Meanwhile, other artists accused of crimes like assault and domestic violence remain signed to their labels as long as they can still profit and the seats don't get too hot. 10 years ago, getting a deal with a major record label was the ultimate dream for a hopeful artist. While the hype still resonates, the landscape of today's music industry has largely cantered on the decline of the prestige and dominance of powerhouse labels. But today, the game has changed and record labels don't have the impact they used to. We're often told that bold managers are the greatest threat to these record labels. The trend of smaller boutique labels and independent artists rising to prominence in today's music scene, without the help of major labels, begs the question, what is the real value of a record label in today's music business? What is important for the artist to realize is that the record labels are a business. They have been doing this for a long time and they are looking to make as much money they can from any deal they enter. What sounds attractive may not be so in reality, especially if the record label underperforms on the things they are responsible for. Before entering into any contract at any point in the process of creating music, the artist should make sure they know what they are getting into and what rights they have to get out of a deal that goes south. Sony Music, like many record labels, had a professional relationship with R. Kelly for a significant portion of his career. They distributed his music and album, meaning that they were involved in the commercial aspects of his music career and nothing else. However, in recent years, due to the serious legal issues and allegations surrounding R. Kelly, there had been significant public pressure on Sony Music to sever ties with him. In January 2019, it was reported that Sony Music had dropped R. Kelly from their roster, effectively ending their working relationship just like that. This decision likely came as a response to the numerous allegations of misconduct and abuse that had been made against R. Kelly over the years. The Surviving R. Kelly documentary series, which aired in early 2019, further intensified public scrutiny and led to renewed calls for accountability. Labels may be held accountable for artists' wrongdoings, but only when the audience demands it, and fans don't expect the most out of their artists, especially in hip-hop. Recording contracts often avoid referring to artists as employees so that labels can avoid such responsibilities and legalities. It's worth noting that while Sony Music may have distanced themselves from R. Kelly in a professional capacity, they would not have direct involvement in legal matters or personal issues he faced outside of their business relationship because of the nature of contracting. Legal proceedings and investigations would be handled if his contract with the label was not just about money but rather comprehensive. In 2010, Amanda Palmer declared on her blog that she was very happy to announce that she had finally been released from her contract with Roadrunner Records. Palmer went on to say that she hadn't been able to release her music for free while signed, but now she was going to do just that in the hope that fans would donate money. "I think that artists should feel no shame while passing the hat around once they have entertained people," she explained, highlighting a tradition that is much stronger here in the United States than in the United Kingdom. In light of these challenges, many young artists are now exploring alternative paths to success in the music industry. One such option is allowing fans to invest in artists through a music investment platform, Upfront Capital. By leveraging their own rights and connecting with fans directly, young artists can build their own careers on their own terms. Upfront Capital gives artists complete creative control over their output, which helps build a direct relationship with their fans, leading to more engagement and loyalty over time. Meanwhile, for all of us who have been waiting to have and analyze the contents of the federal government's reply to R. Kelly's Illinois appeal brief, we'll now have to again wait because the government was granted yet another 1-month extension. This development now means that we shall have to wait till the 30th of November 2023. This is according to the United States Court of Appeal, Northern District of Illinois Eastern Division, the Court of Appeal for the 7th Circuit. As we continue to witness more new developments occurring during R. Kelly's appeal proceedings, we can just stay optimistic that this time this relevant truth will be put into consideration. We believe R. Kelly and his legal team will be able to outline all the injustices, misinterpretations of the law, cases of lying and witness tampering that have marred all R. Kelly's legal proceedings, and that the law, truth and justice will this time along prevail. It has been a long wait, and we can't wait any longer to see R. Kelly regain his deserved freedom. Thank you for watching today's video, brought to you by SOS Media. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss any of our videos. Also remember to leave your comment about today's topic in the comment section below.